Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans and Comment Corner community. It's time for our GH spoiler alerts. These spoilers are for Monday, January the 12th, all the way through Friday, January the 16th. So let's see what's going to be happening in Port Chuck next week. Of course, we saw Trina and Kai knocking on Alexis's door saying, "We know who killed Drew." Okay. So Trina spills the truth to Alexis about what she and Kai has uncovered, and they tell Alexis about that crucial clue with the ringtone. Now, we know, bottom line, Alexis is going to be floored at hearing this, right? But now Alexis is going to have to grapple with what's she going to do with that information, right? She still is Willow's attorney. She still has a job to do, but now she knows, oh shoot, because she told Tracy, I believe in my client's innocence. Well, guess what? Now, do you, Alexis? Do you believe in your client's innocence right now? And if you do, or if you don't, because let's face it, any sane person wouldn't. So now, what does this mean for your granddaughter, Scout? This woman brought Scout to your house, right? Day after Christmas. This woman is left alone with your granddaughter. So Alexis is going to have to really decide what she's going to do. And bottom line, what she's gonna say to Kai and Trina, but I can tell you this, she's gonna pacify and placate them. She's gonna tell them, thank you so much for bringing this information to me. Who else have you told? And they're gonna say, well, we didn't go to the police because that meant we were there. And they're gonna probably have to explain why they were there. But she knows about Portia. She blew Portia out the water, right? So they're going to say, we took what Drew Kane was blackmailing her with, and only that. So Alexis is probably going to tell them, you know what, you are right about possibly facing some charges. Now, it wasn't breaking and entering. Kai has a key. Kai has Drew's permission to go in and out of his house. So with Kai telling Trina, we broke into his house. No, you didn't, son. You have a key, right? No, you didn't break in. So Alexis will probably say, just to keep yourself safe, I'll take it from here. You all just leave it alone. That's probably what she's going to tell them. And they're going to feel like their consciences are clear and they're going to leave it alone. Why Trina doesn't immediately call Jocelyn? Even if she was grappling with a decision, who do we tell? Why wouldn't you tell Jocelyn what you found? Right? Jocelyn knows. Trina's already told Jocelyn Drew was blackmailing her mother. Jocelyn knows that. The only thing Jocelyn doesn't know is Trina was in the house. I don't believe Trina confided in her that much, right? So now, Martin, on Monday, Martin's going to relay some news to Drew. Um, Probably, my guess, you know how Tracy's been urging him. You tell him I want my family heirlooms. You better get on it. And Laura says, Martin, surely you could do something. My guess is maybe that's the news that Martin's going to tell Drew, because let's face it, Martin didn't tell Drew, excuse me, y'all, overhearing Tracy and Drew's conversation. Martin slipped Alexis the note. So we know that's not what he's going to tell Martin. Unless Martin says now I think it's gonna be regarding Tracy. I really, really do. But we'll see. And you know what? I don't care about Martin. Yeah. Now Molly confides in Christina. We know what that's gonna be. Molly hasn't had a piece of the action in well over a year and a half. Well over a year and a half since she and TJ split. Last summer was the anniversary of the death of the baby. So this will be coming on 2 years. Time flies, right? So she's going to talk about her love life and Cody and yeah, okay. But I'm telling you, Molly's going to end up pregnant. Michael and Jacinda grow closer, probably after that steamy kiss in the parlor area. He's probably going to take her upstairs. Well, you know what? I don't think he better take her out the house. You want to know where he should take her? Right there to his house that's on the property, the gatehouse, right? Take her right there to the gatehouse and get busy. Your children won't walk in on you. The stench of Willow is long gone from there. It's aired out from there. If you feel funny about going up into your bedroom, hit the couch. That's where everybody hits it anyway. Hit the couch. So we'll see what it means when they grow closer. I think I know what they mean. Anina's frustrated, dealing with, she probably even tries to have a conversation with Willow because Nina is the only one that truly knows Willow hates Drew. Nina's the only one. Nina's the only one knowing Willow does not love Drew. She only married him to give her leverage, so she thought, to get her kids back. But what's Willow gonna think if Drew is stripped of his congressional seat? He's now a nobody. With all that power you thought you were gonna be able to play off of, Willow. So I kind of think Nina's gonna be trying to talk to Willow, talk some sense into Willow, or maybe what's your plan of action? Once you're free, it'll be that kind of conversation. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. In all of these little spoiler tidbits, I want to hear from you. What do you think these bullet points mean? Now let's move on to Tuesday. Valentine takes a risky action. I'm thinking he's going to try to get in touch with Sidwell, right? Or he's going to try to stake out Sidwell. I'm thinking Valentine might sneak on that doggone Spoon Island. I really believe he's going to do that. But we'll see if that's the risky action he's going to take. Britt finds herself um, under threat. Well, come on now. Who haven't we seen in a minute? We haven't seen Pesky Pascal. I think Pesky Pascal's going to pay a visit to Britt and let her know, okay, you've been spending way too much time at this hospital and not enough time in the lab, and we're getting no results, okay? And Sidwell is not happy. It's either going to be Pesky Pascal or Sidwell's going to summon Britt to Spoon Island and tell her that to her face. Because come on, y'all. When does she have time to be the sole person doing the research in Dalton's lab? When? So I'm that's gonna come back now to come into play. That wait a minute. You need your medicine, and you are gonna need to re-up, and you're not producing. So we're gonna see. Now, Ava has a shocking encounter. Hmm. My guess, the shocking encounter, and I could be 100% wrong because right now Ava is not really in too much of a strong storyline, right? She's Nina's sounding board, Portia's sounding board. I think little Miss Lucy Coe is going to pay Ava a visit to the gallery. and try to state her claim on Sidwell. Or, uh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking it is. Because it won't be Sunny saying, I'm hearing you spending a lot of time with Sidwell. You better be careful with my daughter. Because then she would think, who told you that and why? See, Sunny's not going to open up that can of worms. I'm believing it's going to be little Miss Lucy Coe, jealous, right? Drew makes a promise on Tuesday. Oh my God. Drew and promises? I promise, right? Not a one of that man's promises has ever come to fruition. Not one, right? Every time he makes a promise, the opposite happens. Okay? So his promise somehow is going to raise some kind of stakes, right? Possibly he's going to want to try to do something tied to, I don't say testimony. It's, it says testimony or revenge. He's already testified. They can't correct that. But I think he's going to start his plan of action for revenge. We got to see what Alexis does with the information. Because if he finds out Kai was the one in his house, he's going to not take revenge against Kai. It's Trina. Because Trina is the one connected to Curtis, right? So, but I do believe it's going to be the next step in revenge against Michael. That's what I'm thinking. But if Alexis does do the right thing, then the news will come out about Kai and Trina, and Drew will be on the warpath, right? Carly is alarmed by something that's unfolding. Either alarmed with Valentine now taking a risk, doing whatever he's going to do, or she's a little alarmed at now it's looking like Willow is going to get off, but I don't really see her. Well, and if she's feeling Willow's going to get off, she could be thinking, oh my God, which is what her and Jason were talking about. Now they're going to come after Michael. That's her main concern. And Jason's like, okay. And if they do, Michael will be fine. And she goes, what makes you say that? He goes, because Michael didn't shoot Drew. He would have told me, right? Now, he may not tell Sonny, may not tell his mama, but he would have told Jason. So, I kind of think it's Valentine because Valentine is going to really be in play next week. I think that's what Carly's going to be alarmed at. She could also be alarmed that maybe Jack is saying they're getting closer to apprehending Valentine. Valentine. It could be a whole lot of that. Now, Wednesday the 14th, Elizabeth and Jason. What an unlikely pair. They are um, suggesting coordinating around the crisis at hand. The only crisis at hand that I see the two of them involved in is Willow. You know, perhaps they're kind of going over Willow's actions, Willow's, uh, I think it has something to do with Willow. It definitely doesn't have anything to do with Jake, right? Um, Not Danny that he would be talking to Elizabeth about. So I'm really thinking, and he definitely wouldn't talk to Elizabeth about Britt. So I'm thinking it's Michael and Willow, and they're talking about that. But we shall see. That one has me stumped, everybody. That one has me stumped. Sonny wants answers. Sonny has allegedly been wanting answers since his penthouse was blown up. And you know what? My, how his security, his tech team, his specialty force, boy, have they fallen apart. They have no clue as to who set off that bomb. But you want to know what? I bet you Valentine knows. People said Valentine did it. Nah, Valentine didn't do that. Val didn't do that, but I bet you Valentine knows. Too bad Carly's not thinking about that because she could say, look, you seem to know everything. Who do you think blew up Sonny's penthouse? I'm just saying, right? So, but Sonny wants some answers. I bet you he's telling Jason, we got to find out what Sidwell's end game. We got to find out exactly what his operation is because they still don't know. So, yes, he wants some answers, but I don't know. I don't have too much faith in Detective Sonny and his team. Now, Valentine has a close call. See, I don't know. To me, that's saying Valentine, of course, he's out and about. That risky move he made landed him in a close call. That's Wednesday. Wednesday's going to be on and popping. Actually, Tuesday, I think next week's going to be pretty good too, but we're looking at Tuesday and Wednesday, getting some action, right? Carly overhears some useful intel. Now, where would Carly overhear intel at? It's going to be Jack Brennan, right? Either Jack is at her house and Jack gets a phone call and Carly eavesdrops, even though he says, excuse me, I got to take this. She comes back and she's eavesdropping. That's what I'm thinking it's going to be at. It's going to be at her house. But I think the intel is going to be from Jack Brennan. And he's not going to know she was eavesdropping. Also Wednesday, Brad issues a request. I don't know what that request is. It better not be to Britt saying, can you get me back on the hospital board? That ship should be sailed. Him working anywhere back at GH should be gone, period. Now let's move on to Thursday. Thursday, January the 15th. Jason takes Britt out. So they must go out to dinner. And, they're talking, but let's face it, if we know they're going out, Jason's going to steer the conversation back to let me help you. Let me keep you safe. Same old thing. We'll see what Britt says. Well, she'll be a brat. We know she'll be a brat at first at dinner. That's a given. But we'll see how their dinner goes. They're going to show Gio and Emma on Thursday, taking a step forward. Uh-oh. Emma has a whole empty apartment all by herself. Grandma ain't nowhere to be found. Do ya think Emma and Gio are going to get busy for the first time in Anna's apartment? I kind of think so. But we'll see. Now, Brooklyn, of course, she's defending Chase. Who she's defending Chase to? Because she's already talked to Dante, right? Probably Tracy. Remember, Tracy's going to be on a mission to find out who sent Alexis that note. And she's probably going to accuse Chase. And Brooklyn is going to defend him. And as soon as Tracy walks away, Brooklyn will look at him and say, did you do it, Chase? Exactly what she would do, right? Now, Jocelyn and Carly do a catch up. Where is Jocelyn staying? She and Trina were best friends. Emma and Trina talk more than Jocelyn and Trina, and Jocelyn is not on any covert assignments. Jocelyn is just supposed to be finding out who Valentine's attorney is, but Jocelyn hasn't been doing a doggone thing. But she and Carly are going to catch up again. Carly hearing her daughter's story, thinking, okay, now this is a lie. That's a lie. Okay, you telling me another lie. It's got to be hard on her, but that's okay because Carly got some secrets of her own. Now, also Thursday, Laura's going to play peacemaker, attempting to ease some rising tensions. I don't know who should be. Is it going to be between maybe Dante and Rocco? I don't see her having to be peacemaker between Sonny and Sidwell. If that's the case, that's all by her and Sonny's design. That's a little trap they got for Sidwell, right? Good cop, bad cop, right? I just kind of think maybe it's going to be Peacemaker Laura. Could be Charlotte and Lulu. We'll see. We'll see what that's going to be. I don't know. Now let's go to Friday. Friday's looking good. They're gonna have a cliffhanger Friday next week. Willow awaits the news of her fate as the fallout from Trina and Kai's revelation comes to a head. So that means, what did Alexis do? Because they said the fallout. There is some fallout. Okay. Hmm. That maybe he has some, that's a promise that Drew made Willow regarding, I don't know. I'm interested to see how are they going to spin this twist next week, everybody. Nina issues a warning to Drew. Stay away from my daughter. You stay away from Willow. Okay, yet another warning. Nina, your warnings are meaningless. Meaningless. Drew could care less about a warning of yours. Nina is supposed to have these connections in Congress. Why hasn't she used any connections to get Drew ousted? Congressman McCaughey wasn't the only person she knew. So, anyway, warn away, Nina. Warn away. Okay. Alexis explains her actions. I'm wondering, is she now going to have to explain to Trina and Kai why she herself did nothing? Because Trina and Kai probably tell somebody else too. Who is she going to have to explain her actions to? I don't see that her explaining anything to Willow. Hmm. If she does, Willow's going to say, well, you better correct that because I happen to know Danny was with you and Scout, which he came to your house. And I'm going to tell Drew because that's coming, y'all. That's coming. Chase encourages Dante. I'm going to fast forward that whole scene. Fast forward. After the conversation Dante had with BLQ, I mean, Willow could be innocent. I don't want to hear Dante. I don't want to hear Chase encourage Dante. I don't, the only thing I want to see is the evidence that Willow, the twinkle, twinkle, little star, really comes out and it's in your face to Chase. That way he could be telling Dante, I was so 100% wrong, and you know what? I was completely out of line. Yeah, I had no idea Willow was capable of this. Yeah, so you had every right to suspend me. That better be the only way that's going to happen, everybody. And last but not least, on Friday, Anna is stunned by an unexpected development, adding another emotional note to the end of the week. I think Valentine's gonna find her. Or I think she's gonna hear Valentine talking to somebody. I believe Val is gonna have something to do next Friday with Valentine and Anna. I think so. So it's going to be a good week next week, everybody. I'm excited. And I will be back tomorrow with another daily recap of General Hospital. Like beaming. I love the fact that I'm excited about our show. And so I will see you tomorrow, everybody.